Just when you thought things were too good to be true for the Los Angeles Lakers, reality kicks in. Oh, man. Let's talk about it. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and drop a like on the video and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Lakers and other sports content. The Lakers just won 5 games in a row. Austin Reeves had a career night, dropped 45 points. Monday's coming up. We were expecting LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and of course Mark Williams to make their debut. That's not going to happen. As I'm sure you've heard already, Mark Williams is no longer a Los Angeles Lakers. The trade has been rescinded. Mark Williams failed his physical. We weren't really getting too many details. You heard rumors about his back and some other things, but we're starting to get a little bit more information, and it's being reported that it was more so surrounding his left foot, which has been the cause for most of his injuries lately. Obviously, this is very disappointing. And like I said before, it seemed too good to be true. And looking back at it, right, it's balls. It's like, the trade deadline is a couple days away. We make this huge trade, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, all that good stuff. The Lakers desperately need a center. How are we going to find this center? And then out of the blue, the Charlotte Hornets call up, "Hey, what's up, Lakers? Heard you guys need a center. Huh? Yo. And just right in the nick of time, we land what could have been our center of the future. That was the outlook on the situation. And not only that, but he seemed to be just a perfect fit. 7'2". He's got a 9'9" standing reach, athletic, lob threat, someone who would pair perfectly with the likes of Luka Doncic in the future, and of course someone like LeBron James for now. And it turns out the Charlotte Hornets tried to sell us a lemon. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to Mark Williams. I mean, you guys know me. I have a tremendous amount of respect for basketball players and what they go through. But the truth of the matter is, it was too good to be true. And you would have a hard time convincing me that the Charlotte Hornets didn't know ahead of time that Mark Williams had some issues. I mean, it just all played out in a very funny way. At the time, we were all super excited about it. So it was like, damn, Rob Pelinka, he did it again. But when you think about it, it was too good to be true. And the Charlotte Hornets tried to pull a fast one. And there's not going to be much you can say to try to convince me otherwise. But anyway, that's the current situation. We are currently without a starting center. That being said, though, right now, our current starting center is Jackson Hayes. And you need to give me a second on this because we got to talk about Jackson Hayes for a little bit. I think you guys are way too hard on him. Seriously. And I've had my moments too, don't get me wrong. Watching Jackson Hayes play at times can be frustrating. And you may say I'm a little biased because I have a soft spot for guys that they play hard, they play with energy. They give you 100% of their effort. Whether it produces good results or not, you know that they're gonna play their heart out for you. And that's Jackson Hayes. You can't deny that. You can't deny that he doesn't bring energy. You can't deny that regardless of whether you think he's good or how good he is, he plays hard. So let's back off Jackson Hayes a little bit, all right? And Jackson Hayes, he is a lob threat. Theoretically, Jackson Hayes would be, serviceable as a starting center, ideally. You look at his size, he's a legit 7-footer. He has good length. He's very athletic, certainly a lob threat. There's just some key fundamentals and habits that he absolutely needs to break. He's got to put some weight on. So I would not mind Jackson Hayes being our backup center at all. But where do we go from here? That's the real question. We don't have a lot of options. I'll tell you that right now. And when you look throughout history in the NBA, acquiring a center off the buyout market never really moves the needle. Acquiring any player off the buyout market never really moves the needle. You just don't find it. You don't really find it that often. So, which direction do I think we should go? Uh, I mean, at this point, if you're Rob Pelinka, if you're the front office, you have to exhaust all your options. Okay. And by that, I mean, pretty much, if you look at a guy like Dwight Howard, you look at a guy like JaVale McGee, bring him in. Bring him in for a workout. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You bring him in for a workout, they do well, they don't do well, and then you move forward from there. But if we're talking about legit options, guys that have been in rotations, they've been on the court, they've been getting reps in. I mean, I think you just go with Mo Bamba, to be honest. You bring him back. He's been with the Lakers before. It's not an ideal situation. It definitely isn't. But he's a legit 7-footer. He's shown flashes of being a decent rim protector. He's fairly athletic. You know what I mean? No, obviously not as athletic as Jackson Hayes, but you know, you have to work with what you got, right? You have to look at our options. You have to make the best choice possible. And this is kind of me speaking more instinctively. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm looking at the list. Daniel Theis. I mean, I don't know, man. I would prefer size over anything else right now, because at the end of the day, if they're bad, at least they're big, they're long, and they can just kind of be a presence on the court. I think Mo Bamba is the choice right now, but hopefully some more things develop over the next few days. Maybe, who knows, maybe the next week or so. And we could just at least decide who's going to be that center. And also, which could be a factor that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about, when you bring in a guy like Mo Bamba, it kind of leaves the door open for who is going to be our starting center. So having a Mo Bamba, having a Jackson Hayes, and having them kind of go at each other, and understanding that, hey, listen, the best center is going to start, that could unlock something, right? I mean, when you're talking about a level of competition and potential, it's like, hey, listen, I want to be the starting center. Do Jackson Hayes and Mo Bamba, they go at it in practice, even though in season you don't really practice that much, but you get what I'm saying. You want to perform. You want to be able to, if you're brought in on a buyout, it's more so like an exhibition, not just for you, but the rest of the NBA. You want to perform well, so that way when the season's up, somebody's like, hey, listen, he played for the Lakers, he killed it, let's bring him in. That's the thought process when you're playing for these teams. Obviously, you want to compete for a championship. That's everybody's dream, especially when you have the likes of LeBron James playing at an all-NBA level, even at the age of 40. You have Luka Doncic. Austin Reeves is playing at an all-star level. The Lakers could be contenders if they have the right pieces. So that could be incredibly encouraging for someone. And also, that brings up another point. You can have teams that are currently on a contract to where it's like, hey, listen, the Lakers don't have Mark Williams anymore. Maybe they're looking for a starting caliber center. I want to compete for a championship. Let me call my agent. Let's work out on a buyout. I want to play for the Lakers. That could be a factor as well. So obviously there's a lot to consider here. And I know it's been a bit of a roller coaster for us as Lakers fans. You know, 1 second we're trading for Luka Doncic. Shock the world. Then we don't have a starting center. Now we find a starting center. Things are looking up. You know, Lakers are on a winning streak. They're playing really well. And then the rug gets pulled out from under us. It's been a roller coaster. But I think it's important to kind of keep that tunnel vision. If we expect Luka, LeBron, and JJ Redick to keep that same tunnel vision, then we have to as well. As fans, it's our job to enjoy the sport. You know, we want, you know, the entertainment factor, but we got to lock in too. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lakers, they play for us. You know what I mean? That's what it means to be a true Laker fan. No matter if you're down in the dumps or if you're sitting high on top of the mountain, you know, where's your loyalty stand? And this is why I always try to stay even keeled. I always try to stay realistic, because the NBA is a crazy business and you just never know where it's going to end up or what it'll lead to. The Lakers this season have been a perfect example of that. So don't lose all hope. I still think that, again, with the likes of LeBron James, Luka Doncic, JJ Redick doing an excellent job, the goal is still intact, which is to compete for a championship. And we can do that. Hopefully we can find at least a serviceable center. and then we'll just take it from there. We know the beautiful thing is once we get this done, we know who we have as our team, and then we can just focus on maximizing our potential and letting JJ do his thing, letting Luka do his thing, letting LeBron do his thing. Austin Reeves is playing at an all-star level. We're going to be all right. And not to mention, this actually does set us up pretty well for summer 2025. We were able to get back DK. You know, we got our assets back in terms of trade options. We got our first round pick back, our pick swap. So not all is lost. And I mean that for both the summer and for this season. We're going to be all right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think Mo Bamba is kind of the way to go? Do you not know what to think and it's just whatever happens, happens? Let me know what you think in the comments, man. I always love engaging with you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you on the next one. Here.